Good evening, my friends, and welcome back to the next episode of Firmament. Last time out, we spent most of the episode under a glacier in a frozen reservoir, working in our environment suit there. What a terrible job these keepers actually have. This time, well, we managed to solve that puzzle, although we must remember there were some side paths back there which we didn't go to. Oh wow. Oh, we're here. Right. I didn't realise that was going to be where this spit us out. I thought we were going to melt the thing. And that was going to, like, give us access to the spire, and then there'd be like another puzzle before we got there. But okay, right, we're actually here. Oh man, maybe we could have jammed this in at the end of last episode. Well, I don't know, right? Because once we get the third one, we might be into the end game, right? Which is going to be super awkward if it lasts longer than an hour. Because I got like a hard stop today. So like if we start getting into the end credits, I'm going to have to start doing I'll have to do some sort of finessing to get the game paused. I don't know. Anyway. Curvale's embrace. We engage the embrace in Curvale.
And the embrace has now been awakened. Can it be true? Could this really have gone as I planned? You have kept the mission. Now the gateway in the swan will open, and you can prepare for the assembly. Go.
Your plan? Question. I have a feeling maybe she's Turner. I don't know.
We were taught to joyfully anticipate the arrival. Turner and two others arrived, and we were joyful beyond measure. They were powerful. We obeyed. They knew so much, but they were not patient with us, not kind as we were. We were not used to force. We were peaceful. Yes, we were peaceful, but we were not weak. It troubled us to serve someone as though they were greater than us. We were taught that all were equals.
Like, considering that...
Suddenly... Martha killed one of them. Oh, that moment is burned in my mind.
Considering she knows we don't have any memories.
She could not talk about why. That day, nothing was ever the same.
Nothing was ever the same after the before
Turner
times.
And the other arrivals also changed. They took Martha and... Panic engulfed the realms.
I'm going a really dumb way, aren't I? I should be going back to the factory. There's a shortcut there.
There was blood. There was death. It was... I have no words for it. Only 12 keepers remained.
Oh.
Of the arrivals, only Tana remained.
Okay, we'll go in and out to get back to the factory. Right. So, what is that? Like 13 of them left, I guess? One of the arrivers. What does the arrival actually entail, though? It's still incredibly vague. Now, what I was going to say is, considering that she knows we have no memory, right? If she's trying to get us onto her side, she's doing a really bad job of it because she's providing absolutely no context. Like, this is the kind of person that you... like, and also, right, she's a keeper, yeah? Someone whose job it is, ostensibly, is a maintenance job, right? And as we've seen, these jobs involve a lot of checklists and a lot of documentation, right? She genuinely seems like the worst person in the world to be in charge of documenting anything, considering that she can't provide any context for anything she's saying. Okay, let's go to the Swan. So, are we going to get more puzzles in the Swan? Or are we just going to get the finale of the game? Okay, we're here. So, what is it that's become available to us? I thought for a minute that maybe that is... oh, it's done that thing again with my mouse. It's because it really doesn't like it when I click out of the application and then back into it. Oh, now it really doesn't like that. Hang on a minute. Anyway, what I was saying was, I thought maybe for a moment that was a security camera, but actually it's just a spotlight. I would assume... oh, that's what's now become available. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, do you know what? I never noticed the bullet holes in the wall before. So, someone came out shooting. Yeah, like I noticed the chairs, obviously, the scuffle. I never noticed the bullet holes before. Damn. Okay. Now, she said there were 12 of them left, right? Interesting. Okay, right, let's go. I like, the thing is, I just don't really have any good theories. I don't really have any good theories because I kind of feel like the game has given us very little to work with, to be honest.
He became our master and ruled us with a heavy hand.
Iron Fist.
We learned about masters and their weapons. We were subdued, then lost. And Turner, rather than intent on the assembly and completing the mission, became intoxicated with this power. Our angry god. He would command and we would comply or die. His every need.
And Turner was able to do this because he was one of the arrivals.
Our mission was in peril, resting in Turner's distracted hands. I lost hope.
So arrivers... so there's a group of people who are arrivers, and I suppose it's not possible for any of the other keepers to become arrivers? Meaning that there's some particular skill or destination. That destination doesn't have a title. Go on then. Just close door. We're going blind. Oh, we're going down. So this isn't actually conveyancing us anywhere. This is like literally physically moving. Unless the other conveyance pods were also physically moving as well.
Came to me. An ingenious plan.
Yep, wipe Turner's memories and put him into a pod. You refined it for many weeks. Okay. Oh. Uh-huh.
I made a wall in my mind for my own sanity. Befriending the monster for the greater good.
Uh-huh.
I learned much. I wept much. So, after many weeks, I told my comrade Jacques the truth that I had learned.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he would be afraid. He provoked the others, and they all lashed out at me. I convinced Turner to use his weapons to force them into the deep sleep.
So presumably
I told Turner we could wake new ones from the threshold.
We are
and
Turner?
Mentors them to be more compliant as his servants.
Because we're an arriver, right? Like, she said...
Turner's praise was this idea. He gained his trust. Right up until I sedated him and placed him in the threshold as well.
Oh, okay.
And so I was alone, keeping and preparing. Not for days, or weeks, or even months, but for years. Everyone was gone. The embrace could only be awakened, the assembly could only occur, only with the power of an arriver. But now Turner was in the deep sleep.
So what are you going to do about it?
You will learn the truth now. The truth of sleep. The truth of the mission. The truth of keeping. And the truth of Turner. Our assembling and ending.
And the truth is...
The threshold keeps the keepers.
Mm-hmm.
The cycle of keepers. Blank new keepers to be mentored. The 7-year cycle. But I will not go to sleep. I will keep my memories. I will not forget.
Right, so it is a bit like Moon, then. New keepers get created and old keepers return to the threshold, I guess. We got system overwrite. 100%. So, what's all going on down here then? We got a little stove. Ah, that all looks quite smart, doesn't it? Someone with a guitar. LDT, would that be Turner? Are these the arriver quarters? Frankenstein and the Red Book. The Red Book... Is that a reference to Mao's Red Book? CPHRRN. The human body, a notebook, Firmament playing cards. Like, unless it's just a reference to Myst, to be honest. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the Red Book is quite a famous historical book. Atellus inaugural keepers. I'm guessing these are Kickstarter backers, maybe? Okay, what do we got here? Vestibule hatch. Okay. So we can don that and go out there. We shan't worry about that immediately. Let's go through here. Coupling module hatch 1. Externally locked. Oh, do you know what? This does look a lot more like a spaceship now, doesn't it? Coupling module hatch. No, locked. Okay. This is the point where if we do actually don this and go out into space, this is definitely the point where if I was playing in VR, I would immediately just start throwing up everywhere. Because, like, no. We are in space. It's totally a spaceship.
Experienced the revelation that I had.
Called it.
The grand realms I thought were everything are nothing but firmament, structures. But yet, they held everything dear to me, except my own memory.
Right, so the realms are up there.
I have kept those.
Right, so we've got a lift on this side. So there's an external hatch, which is up a flight of stairs. Anything around this side? Doesn't look like it. To be fair, this would probably look real sick in VR. Although it's unusual, right? Because unlike a regular spacewalk, you are still kind of bound to a path, aren't you? It would have been really interesting if they could have made it such more like a rather than a straight WASD with a mouse to look around, if do a sort of Outer Wilds control scheme where you can W and S will thrust you forward and backward, and then you use your mouse to sort of aim where you want your thruster to point, you know? Because, I mean, functionally, like walking around on a catwalk's not significantly different, particularly with all of the barriers on the side as well. Like, this barrier is sort of so high, you don't even really get a chance to really look out and enjoy the skybox, you know? Okay, we're going down the lift. Ah, here we are. Okay, so my theory was sort of, I guess, roughly correct, that we have the seed bank is to go and terraform a planet. The reason why you need all of the keepers to keep things up and running is because a whole bunch of people, presumably, are in cryosleep somewhere in the ship, maybe, or maybe not, I don't know. But it's some sort of generation ship anyway, and the arrival presumably is the unlock. Lock? I don't know. Leave it to unlock, maybe? Don't know, it's weird, because we don't really get any feedback on that either way, to be honest. Oh no, it does say bump bump. It's just quite quiet compared to the music. Okay, no, it only gives you the bump bump after you've done it, so I don't know whether it counted as locked or unlocked. Like, unlocked has got to always be generally better, right? I don't know. I don't know which way it was set to begin with, to be honest. Okay, and Turner did not get the memo. Turner was all like, well, he's not even going to Andrew Ryan it, right? Turner's just like, hey, we're the arrivers and we're the most important ones, so you guys are going to have to do what we say. So the arrivers presumably are like the pilots? They're the only ones who can fulfill the embrace? Is that because the keepers don't really know how the ship works properly, and they are mostly just kind of... they're just sort of maintaining the systems, but the arrivers are like the ones who are actually...
Imagine the first time I saw such a sight.
They're the ones actually flying the ship.
I cannot describe what happened to my body. I did not think Tanner would lie, but there's no preparation to face what one has never contemplated, never imagined. I was distraught and opened and offended and freed. I do not have words to describe to you. And now, I've returned here many times. And still, I do not know where the firmament ends. Can we ever?
I don't know. I mean, I think the cure to your nihilism is just pure solipsism instead. Instead of, oh yes, you know, what is even true? Just go instead with, I'm the only one who's correct, you know. Great, so we can open this up now. Right, that's still externally locked, okay. No, not that one. Okay, now if this is an airlock, we should probably close this behind us, really. Like, come on. Safety. Safety first, right? No reason to endanger the whole ship just because I'm exploring. What do we got here? Philadelphia Review. The majestic starship Atelis embarks on a stellar odyssey. Firmament Initiative ushers in a new era of human ingenuity and optimism. We can just about read this. Let's have a little look. We also have at the bottom here, the Firmament Initiative unveils secrets of the Atelis design and its vision for the future. Let's get a little bit of a lore dump, shall we? Paris, May 7th. In a dazzling display of human brilliance and determination, the colossal starship Atelis has torn from the bonds of Earth, marking the commencement of a pioneering voyage to safeguard humanity's future. The Firmament Initiative, a grand coalition spearheaded by esteemed visionaries such as Andrew Carnegie, Marie Curie, Nikola Tesla, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, Jules Verne, and Karl Marx, seek to propel mankind into a new epoch of cosmic exploration and preservation. Damn! I didn't expect Cyan Worlds to suddenly get all political. Wait, so, okay. The steampunk aesthetic, I kind of get it, yeah. It's very Jules Verne, like, okay, Marie Curie, Nikola Tesla. This is, what year is this? Like, I would actually have to have a think, like, Marie Curie is quite a bit younger than Jules Verne, right? Isn't she? Well, I would really have to think. Okay, So Marie Curie was already quite old at the hang on, Solvay conference, right? The big famous one with the photo of all of the scientists together. She was already quite old then. That was around about 1928 or so. Jules Verne was writing in like the 1880s and earlier, so I suppose they lived at about the same time. Nikola Tesla, I genuinely don't know. I guess he would have been about the same time as well. Karl Marx. Yeah, I guess they're all sort of the end of the 19th century, aren't they? What's Karl Marx doing in there? I will admit, I do not know who Konstantin Tolskovsky is. That's not a name I'm familiar with. Andrew Carnegie. He's the... I've heard of Carnegie Hall, but I couldn't tell you what Andrew Carnegie is famous for. Okay. The prodigious Atellus, a vessel unlike any other, is designed to traverse the celestial expanses on a multi-generational journey. As over a decade of monumental efforts, the so-called Great Lift triumphantly concluded using gargantuan rail rifles to thrust 16 million tons of indispensable cargo into the celestial abyss. Bearing the Greek name for incomplete, the Atellus was assembled and commissioned under the unyielding hope that future advancements will augment and perfect the vessel as it journeys through the cosmos. Gracefully propelled by a sophisticated steam propulsion system and massive sunlight sails, the starship Atellus is poised to advance the marvels of technological progress. Within the Atellus, the Keepers inhabit massive realms, carefully preserving the ship's cargo. Sequestered and protected, these individuals adhere to a strict regimen, safeguarding the duty's integrity. The groundbreaking threshold sleep chambers sustain the Keeper's well-being, allowing extended periods of suspended restfulness. Newly awakened Keepers, having freshly renewed minds, are re-mentored by experienced Keepers, ensuring a seamless transfer of expertise across generations. The Keeper's unwavering dedication is a testament to the Firmament Initiative's foresight, crucial to the Starship Atellus mission success. The crew, a select group of skilled astronauts, will give their lives to maintain a watchful eye on the unknowing Keepers and the Atellus. The unknowing Keepers. Stationed in the ship's fore, they will be refreshed with new arriving members on rare occasions to ensure the mission's smooth progress. As the journey nears its end, the final crew, known as the Arrivers, is expected to join the mission. The Keeper's lore has been embedded to inform them of this final arrival, so the Keepers and crew can, at long last, join in preparing the Atellus for its ultimate destination, a magnificent and welcoming new Earth. Let us all join together in celebration of this historic event, as we bear witness to the dawn of a new age of exploration and wonder. With the launch of the Starship Atellus, humanity takes its first steps towards the stars, and we stand united, ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Godspeed, Starship Atellus, may you carry us towards a brighter tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, it's basically absolutely bang on what I thought it was. Cool. I don't think I've ever got a guess that close, to be honest. Right, so these are the chambers that the Arrivers are chilling out in. So the Arrivers, they just hang out in the ship. And the Keepers, they don't know they're on a ship. Or they've forgotten, because it wasn't mentioned to them in this kind of weird sort of game of pass the message along, you know, that they've been doing for generations and generations. Why didn't any of them write anything down? The fact that Karl Marx was involved probably explains the existence of the Red Book amongst the Arrivers, though. Here we go. So this is 9th of the 2nd, 1972. Introduction. Welcome to the Firmament Initiative, a multi-generational, multinational, privately funded endeavour designed to preserve and secure the future of humanity through interstellar exploration. Your participation, dedication and service to this monumental mission is acknowledged and appreciated. Classified. Please note that due to the nature and duration of the mission, this information is exclusively for the crew personnel. Keepers must remain segregated, concentrating on the preservation of the cargo without distraction. Founders: Carnegie, Curie, Marx, Tesla, Tolkovsky, Jules Verne. Starship, Atelis. Background: Phase 1, the Great Lift. Phase 1 centered on sending crucial Earth-based elements, minerals, flora, and fauna into orbit. The Founders utilized their considerable resources to launch massive projectiles into orbit using 12 colossal rail rifles situated at various mountainous locations on Earth. Between 1895 and 1907, over 6,000 containers of cargo were transported into space, totaling more than 16 million tons, including technology for the assembly of a starship. In 1910, the mission commenced, with the Atelis gradually accelerating towards a nearby star system via rudimentary steam propulsion and solar sails. Phase 2, the augmentation. The Atelis initially possessed very limited acceleration capabilities. The mission design relied on future advancements in space technology to enhance the Starship during its journey. The Founders correctly anticipated that future technology would be able to catch up and upgrade the Atelis, potentially redirecting it to the different star system if a more suitable one was discovered. The timing and frequency of such augmentations were uncertain, but attachment and docking ports were incorporated in anticipation. That's kind of a common problem, really, with generation ships, is this idea that if you are going to set about trying to get to another solar system, if you start, you're not going to be the first people that arrive. The first crew that goes is not going to be the first crew to get there. Phase 3, the embrace and the arrival. The Starship Atelis features artificial gravity generated by the vessel's rotation. To create the required gravity, cargo realms are positioned further from the center of rotation, resulting in a structurally weaker vessel susceptible to stress during intense acceleration. Consequently, the ship was also designed to retract and secure the cargo realms during periods of high acceleration. It was expected that this would only be necessary deceleration for arrival or for a final upgrade, providing unanticipated thrust. The Keepers were prepared for these events with a narrative combining the arrival of trained personnel required to engage the embrace and the actual arrival of the Starship Atelis at its final destination. Personnel, the Keepers. Acknowledging that a journey to even the closest star system could take centuries or millennia, the Founders designed the ship's maintenance to be performed by Keepers. Keepers reside in large cargo realms, rotating in and out of the sleep chambers that enabled them to live for the mission's entire duration. The sleep process gradually purges memories, starting from the most recent. As a result, Keepers are limited to a maximum sleep duration of 12 years before being awakened and retrained. Mentors facilitate the retraining process by passing on their knowledge and preparing for sleep. To minimize social complications among Keepers, a tightly controlled and rigorously managed protocol was established. Keepers are not informed about the mission's nature and are instead taught that they exist within 3 small realms, comprising their entire universe. Questioning was discouraged, and all necessary answers were provided through strict cultural indoctrination. Again, I don't understand. I'm sorry to kind of keep banging on about this point, but at what point is Karl Marx involved in this? I can't think of a philosophy which would be more at odds, to be honest. I don't know. But okay, fine. The crew. A small group of trained astronauts is accommodated at the ship's fore. The crew's primary responsibility is to remotely monitor the Keepers and ensure the smooth operation of the mission during launch and subsequent upgrades. The crew has access to the threshold suspension chambers, but their use is limited to approximately 1 year. Suspension periods exceeding 2 years pose memory loss risks, which could compromise the crew's effectiveness. Consequently, the crew members are expected to live out their lives in support of the mission. It is of utmost importance that the crew remain separated from the keepers to prevent interference with the keepers' strictly dictated culture. The only exception to this segregation is the arrivers. The arrivers. As the mission progresses, it is anticipated that the frequency of upgrades will increase due to advancements in space travel, engines, and speeds. The final stages of the mission will likely occur rapidly, necessitating the arrival of a final crew known as the Arrivers. The Keeper's Law predicts the arrival of this group, who will require access to the realms to prepare the ship for acceleration or deceleration. Only members of the crew, specifically the Arrivers, are authorized to prepare the starship at Tellus in this manner. Note, detailed information on specific procedures for all aspects of the crew, tasks, and protocol can be found in volumes 1 through 22 of the Firmament Initiative Protocol and Procedure. Digital versions are available on Disc A2. And then what do we got here? Search crew name Turner. Right, multiple found. Select from Turner, Arnaldo, Lewis, Maris, Zana, Turner, Lewis, Dharma. Employment history. Ah, right. Oh, so this is several centuries later. He was an Ensign Class C, Nexus Protectorate Corporation. Then for about 9 years, he was Corporate Security Officer at Firmament Industries, and he was Lieutenant Junior Grade Firmament Industries Military Police. There we go. That maybe was where we went wrong. And then Ensign Firmament Industries, including Security, Amelioration Duty, Cruise Ship Nicola, Lottery Draft. And then Bias-Motivated Offence, Level 2. Insubordination, Level 1. Misconduct, Level 3. Contract Breach, Level 4, 1 term served. Man, this Turner was a loose cannon. Not the kind of guy you want hanging about in your spaceship, clearly. Coupling Module Hatch 5. Realm Embrace sequence complete. Ah, man. Do you know what? Like, there is some pretty cool stuff which would look really cool in VR. But I kind of just feel like, the way the realms are actually set up. You know, those kind of balls at the top of the spires that kind of come in. It literally is a visual representation of how the realms actually look when they retract in for the purposes of acceleration and deceleration. Interesting. Oh! Hey, it's that little thing from Halo that runs around and goes, "I'm afraid someone has released the flood. Please, follow me quickly." Okay, we just got 2 piles which will both take us down there. Hey.
Scanning.
Hello. Get out of my face.
Biosignature confirmed. Turner, Lewis Donald. Earth equivalent date 2231-3-17. The United Earth Space Agency sends its sincere gratitude and greetings, Ensign Turner. Mission protocol requiring your presence and approval is now satisfied. Thank you for your preparations to Firmament Starship Atlas. No further human intervention is required. All additional assembly, preparations, and flight control will be handled autonomously by me.
Okay.
Final full engine upgrades to Starship Atlas now commencing. Stand by for space folding and transport to the Tau Ceti system.
Okay, like several questions coming out for that. really, that's all I need. Just a biosignature, and then we're just kind of done. Fold engine upgrade in progress. All worlds must collide is the achievement that we've unlocked there. And there was also a second achievement we got as well, but I didn't quite read it. So, yeah, kind of like...
I was never given a choice. The Firmament protected, restrained, and used us. You understand that now?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean like the...
And I have not given you a choice. I
Oh, that's her.
placed you in the threshold 7 years ago. You slept and forgot. I sat alone and remembered. You woke up, I lied to you, and used you. You see how it feels?
Wait, why are the things eating the solar sails? Don't we need those?
You arrived and pulled back the curtain of this monumental illusion for me. Now, I thought I knew so much, but you astonished me with how small my world was. And as you held my awe, my veneration in your hand, you closed your fist around us. We were like children, and you tore our small world apart. I have thought of this moment often as I waited. I wish I was alive now to see your face. There is a part of me that hopes you are enraged. Oh, it's not reasonable, I know. These violent thoughts never get us very far. You were our god. And then, you were our monster. Do you feel some kind of remorse now? Can there even be atonement without choice? It doesn't matter. At the very least, I used you to provide the way home for the keepers.
Okay.
My comrades, my family.
They're all still in the threshold, are they? Not many of them.
But now, maybe you can do more than just the very least. One choice remains for you.
Ooh, we
And
get two endings.
I will not beg a man such as you, but I will ask. Do something good with this second life you have been given. Remember the keepers. Those you looked down on and mocked. Those you erased. I forced you to travel their path, to learn their names, understand what they accomplished, miracles. And you, now you have become the most important keeper of all, the keeper of all these memories. You sit on the verge of the awaited destination. A new world, a new home. When you arrive, you can choose to tell the stories that only you now know. You can tell the tales of the keepers of this grand spaceship. How we worked so hard.
This scene was in dire need of an editor. I'm gonna come out and say it. This is long.
I do.
It's kind of like, you know, we could have got, I think, the point in about half that time. Like, I don't know.
Starship Atlas has now been upgraded and is fold engine enabled. Prepare for acceleration and full jump to the Tau Ceti system.
Oh, I see. We don't
Any
need the
questions
solar
you
cells
may
because we've
have
just
will be
integrated an
answered upon
upgrade.
arrival, which will occur in approximately 7.4 hours.
This
New life
sounds...
awaits you and your fellow Atlas comrades on planet Firma. Thank you for your service to the Firmament Initiative, Ensign Turner.
This sounds a lot like someone who's not British doing a British accent. Oh dear. Here we are, we're going through wibbly wobbly space. And there we go, there's the credits. I shouldn't be too mean, actually, about the voice acting, because my understanding is that the voice actors are, in fact, just Cyan employees, rather than professional voice actors, so, you know, sorry. Well, my friends, that was Firmament. What did we think? Well, it's okay. It's okay. Like, it's not the best Cyan game we've ever played, obviously. Ooh. Oh, we actually have a song. We have a song in the background. Okay. You know, it's not the best Cyan game, obviously, because, like, you know, they've still got Riven under their belt. Best puzzle game of all time, question mark, right? Certainly in the top 5. Is it their strongest game? Definitely not. Is it their weakest game? Probably yes. But their bar is pretty high, right? So my overall take on this one is kind of one of, this was fine. This was fine. Like, Juleston I really liked. Of the 3 realms, Juleston was my favourite. Juleston had, you know, we had the sulfuric acid vat, and we had the battery. We never really got to grips with the battery puzzle. We just kind of managed to, like, fumble our way through that, which is sort of fine. The acid puzzle I thought was kind of cool. I like that, you know, big machine, work out how it works. St. Andrews, we had, okay, you got to fix the trains, you've got to then go up and down the botanical gardens on the lifts. That was alright. Yeah, that was kind of nice. But then you had the bit with the Camelus, and that kind of felt a bit made for VR, to be honest. Like, the Camelus didn't really do it for me. That kind of felt like a little bit Subnautica, a little bit Mass Effect 1 for me. And then, of course, you have Curvale. Curvale, I did not enjoy, really. Like, the crane, I see what they're trying to do with the crane, and one of the comments we had on the channel was talking about discrete versus continuous puzzle space, and I kind of see what they're trying to do with the crane there. It's a puzzle which is in continuous space, but the crane puzzle remains to this day quite ropey, and it really shouldn't be possible for you to soft lock yourself. I think the way that I would solve that is I would just put a collider entirely around the back of the crane and have the collider move with the crane so that the ramp on the back of the crane you cannot leave, right? I would make it so there was literally just an invisible wall, and I would only remove that collider near the factory and near the ice wall, right? Like, there's no reason for that collider to disappear. Because, I mean, there obviously is a collider there because you can't just walk off the crane. You've got the guardrails, right? But there's no reason for that collider to disappear near the bridge, except for the fact that you have to code it as a special case and so forth. So, it's not great that to this day You still, yeah, and this is the really controversial thing. AI, the undisclosed use of AI, which we discussed in the previous episode, led to some of the mixed reviews because people found that a little bit controversial. And then the underwater section in Curvale, going through and turning all of those heaters on. Again, like, not my favourite section. That reminded me a lot of like the bad parts of Portal 2, the ones where you're trying to find the spot of white wall to hit a portal on. So, you know, overall, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. The writing I found a little bit frustrating. I kind of found it frustrating how our narrator was being obviously deliberately obtuse to the point where it's like you're just kind of making anodyne witticisms about a thing that happened that you have no concept about. And so, like, what are you adding to the conversation except to remind the player that you're still there, I suppose? And that end scene was too long as well. The story, actually pretty reasonable. Like, the fact that you're in a spaceship, like, yeah, we got it. Like, we worked it out, what was happening, in around about the second half of Jewelston realm. But, yeah, clever, nice. You know, like, the actual plot, I thought was totally fine. And there were a lot of environmental clues that I think would be easily missed. So I'd be really interested to hear in the comment section, did you guys figure out, did you figure it out? Did you get that it was a spaceship? Did you get that it was a spaceship? Did you get that you were Turner? Right? Because, you know, the clues were there, the drag marks on the floor, the fact that, you know, you can see the dome briefly when the spire raises. That's a really nice touch. You know, the seed bank, I think, is a really big clue to the fact that you are clearly taking, like, terraforming supplies to somewhere. And so the pieces are there, but yeah, so I like the story, right? And they're obviously leaning into the fact that you've got these different realms. They're leaning into the fact that, well, Myst had ages, and ages aren't physically linked with each other, right? And in Obduction, we had different planets, right? And they're obviously not physically linked with each other. So this is the first time they've toyed with the idea of doing, like, different areas of a game. But then the twist is, actually, this time they are linked with each other, and that's kind of nice, right? So, the setting's good. The graphics as well, actually, quite nice. And, you know, I imagine in VR it would be kind of fun to see some of this stuff in VR. The holograms, be able to, like, turn your adjunct manually and so on. I think that would be pretty cool. But you know, is the VR first development a bit of a misstep from Firmament? They've obviously put a lot of effort into making their games VR first, right? Which is, you know, you're definitely betting on that new technology becoming mainstream, and I think at this stage it's kind of apparent that it's not, and probably won't be until at least another generation of headsets, or another generation and a half of headsets, because, you know, you've got to attract the mainstream kind of casual gamers to really kind of have a big market there to work into. But yeah, so overall, it was okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I'd recommend it, right? If you like puzzle games, you'll like this. You know, it's yeah, I would certainly still give it a recommend if someone was asking for a game like Myst, or a game like Outer Wilds, or a game like, you know, give me a game like Obduction. I would say, yeah, Firmament. It's pretty good. Not as good, but, you know, it's a thin field. It's a thin field out there, right? Myst-likes aren't exactly the most packed genre out there. But I had fun. I had fun playing it, and judging from the comments as well, a lot of you had a lot of fun with this game too. So I'm glad that I'm glad that it was all right for sure. Well, my friends, that's going to wrap us up for this playthrough of Firmament. Thank you very much. Leave a comment. What did you think? What was your favourite part of the playthrough? What was your favourite part of the game? Did you get the twist? Did you realise you were Turner? Did you realise you were on a spaceship? And next time out, well, maybe it's time for something a little bit more retro again. We fired this one up to give us a little break after Rem 2. Maybe we could do Rem 3 next time. You will have to wait and see. I will see you next week. Have a great one. Bye for now.